right? Because we don't want to get someone that comes in expecting a core deal when it's a development, ground up construction play, right? And they don't understand the
Agreed.
difference of risks of those because so it's really, it serves both sides of the transaction.
That's right. You always want to meet the expectations as best as you can, authentically and transparently with your investors. I couldn't agree more. I had a potential investor who was looking for a short-term play. And I'm like, well, why are you looking at a product that's going to be locked up at HUD? Like that's like the very polar opposite of where you're looking. You want to be in the bridge space of 18 months to 24 months, not in the 35 years. I mean, come on. And
Yeah.
it's just but those are fundamental things that you as a retail investor, if you don't read or you don't understand the opportunity where you can find yourself, maybe investing in a good thing, but it doesn't meet your expectations. And that leads to dissatisfaction, disappointment, resentment, all of those bitterness, all of those things that no sponsor, certainly not the ones that they don't want you to be unhappy. They want you to be happy because again, this is really a rinse and repeat game. This is investing is meant to be a lifelong pursuit. It's apolitical. It's not Republican. It's not Democrat. It is meant for everybody. I really believe that. It's not meant just for the rich or for the corporations or anything. It's really meant for everybody. But some opportunities might just not be suitable to fit your particular palette of investing. And so you just have to find the ones that fit your criteria.
Yeah. Makes sense. Well, Dugan, I have a little hack here you may not have heard about to get through a PPM faster. So
Ooh.
I had a
Uh-oh.
investor. This is hilarious. He called me and he's like, "Yeah, I read the whole entire PPM." I was like, "Way to go, man! That's awesome." A lot of people don't do it, even though I encourage them to do it. He's like, "Yeah, I took the transcription and I turned it into an audiobook and I listened to it on 3x speed and I listened to it, I was working out and I was like, that's the
Oh,
first. I've never
I
heard of someone turning PPM into an audiobook, but he did.
that's
I wonder how his workout went, you know?
Yeah, it's probably a little sluggish, I would imagine, but I thought that was kind of funny. But that is one way to get through a little faster.
no doubt. I love the creativity and ingenuity.
Any other kind of final parting thoughts here you'd say for those that are, feel a little bit, daunting to look through this, PPM and final thoughts you share there.
Yeah, I would just say it is, um, I believe one on a couple of things. One is the power of positive thinking, but two, there is a real thing of paralysis by analysis. So if you're trying to take the next step to help your family's future, and you feel convicted that investing is really a way that you're going to be able to accelerate that, and but yet you're analyzing every deal to death, you need somebody else to help you with that. You really do.
It's good
If
advice.
you're going to be it's paralysis by analysis. And there's one thing that I do know that kills deals, and it's procrastination. So at some point, that deal will close. Your ability to invest into it will pass. And then you will live either with disappointment or regret. Now, I'm not saying rush into every opportunity and invest blindly. But what I am saying is if you have made the decision to invest and you have identified the operators that you know, like, and trust, and so you have to take that first step, and it might be scary. It might be scary to step into that opportunity, but you need to do it. And so I'm a big, a lot of this might sound like motivation, but the reality is a lot of people need help. This is a team sport. Nobody syndicates by themselves. And there's very few deals where there's just one investor. So you're in the same boat with a bunch of investors into a deal. So when you're thinking about these things, start thinking about, am I really trying to talk myself out of this? Or am I honestly assessing the risks? Do I really understand this? Those sorts of things. And then just ask questions, right? Get on the phone with the sponsor or the investor relations person, the acquisitions person, for the Greek and ask some questions, because at the end of the day, you will not receive any returns if you ultimately don't invest. And we just know empirically, statistically, if you just take a 20-year snapshot from the S&P 500 to the Russell 2K index to what we do in the private space has outperformed all of those. It's not even close. It's like double. So the reality is we're looking at the greatest transition of wealth in human history right now. We're living in it right now. So if you're thinking about investing in the private space and you think that's bizarre, or because your Merrill Lynch guy doesn't have this on their platform, you're in the wrong space, right? That's just not what we're talking about. The vast majority of these opportunities, like we've been talking about this afternoon, are in this private placement area, and the assets that are being syndicated, that are actually delivering the revenue to generate the returns for the passive investors, are the ones that have historically outperformed some of these other public exchanges, some of these other types of asset classes. So I would just say, take a step of faith, ask questions, be curious, not judgmental. Those are very important components, I think, for success.
So good. And know that this, like, as you just pointed out, these are such lucrative opportunities, many of them. And the first ones can seem daunting, but after you do a few of them, you really start to see they're very boilerplate and they're easier to get through. So it's just this first barrier, get over that hump and dive into this market.
That's right.
That's awesome. Dugan, thank you so much for coming on, sharing your knowledge. I know this is going to be very, very impactful to our listeners. What's the best way for folks to learn more about your firm? And if they are operators looking to do their own PPMs, or, just passive investors that, I don't know if you guys are willing to review PPMs
Sure.
with some other attorneys on your staff, but what's the best way to help folks find you?
Yeah, thanks for asking. We're always willing to help people. We're in this business to serve people. If we can't serve you and help you on your way, then we're not interested, obviously, in just doing something for nothing. So thankfully, my parents gave me a very unique name. You can plug it into Google. I'm probably the only one out there, Dugan Kelley. That's a securities and real estate attorney. You can find our contact information. We're in Dallas, Texas, Santa Barbara, California, but all our clients are hunting, buying, and selling deals all around the United States. We'll be happy to chat with any of you for free, give you a free consultation. So I'm happy that you're listening to this, and I'm happy that you're taking that next step, hopefully, in your family's financial future.